What if the most dangerous faction in WWE history just got rebuilt by the one person nobody saw coming? Hold on. Because what happened on Raw this week didn't just break the internet, it shattered it, swept up the pieces, and body slammed them through a table. Stay right here, because if you leave before the end of this video, you will genuinely regret it. Yo, what is up, Suplex Rumble Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we break down every pin, every promo, and every insane moment that makes professional wrestling the greatest show on earth. I'm your host, and today we are going all in on one of the most jaw-dropping, earth-shaking storylines to come out of Raw in a very long time. If you are new here, smash that subscribe button right now, hit the bell so you never miss a single upload, and drop a comment below with just one word that describes how you feel about what we're about to discuss. Let's see how fired up Suplex Rumble Nation really is. Alright, let's get into it. To truly understand the magnitude of what we witnessed on Raw, we need to rewind the clock because great wrestling stories are never told in one chapter. They are built, brick by brick, betrayal by betrayal, steel chair by steel chair. Cast your mind back to the original Shield era. 3 men, 1 united vision. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose stormed into WWE like a thundercloud that refused to move. They were brutal. They were synchronized. They were a brotherhood. And when they broke apart, it felt like watching a skyscraper collapse in slow motion. Every single one of us felt that implosion personally. Fast forward through years of rivalry, reunion teases, individual championship reigns, personal evolution. Roman Reigns became the tribal chief and redefined what it means to carry an entire brand on your shoulders. Seth Rollins became the visionary, one of the most electrifying in-ring performers of his generation. These two men have been allies, enemies, frenemies, and everything in between. But nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, could have prepared us for what a mysterious attacker set into motion on this past Raw. Let's paint the picture for anyone who may have missed the episode, and if you did, I truly feel for you, because this was television gold. The night opened with tension already in the air. Roman Reigns had been scheduled to appear for a major promo segment, and Seth Rollins was lurking backstage because when is Seth Rollins ever not lurking backstage, making everything more interesting? The crowd was buzzing. Something felt different. That electric, static in the air feeling that every real wrestling fan knows means something big is about to go down. Then chaos. Backstage cameras caught a disturbance. A figure hooded, masked, moving with calculated precision attacked not one, not two, but multiple roster members who were positioned near the entrance ramp area. Security scrambled. Commentary went into overdrive. And then this mystery attacker walked cool, calm, deliberate right down to the ringside area and stood in the center of the ring, waiting. Now here's where it gets wild. Roman Reigns' music hits. The tribal chief makes his entrance, no bloodline, no backup, just Roman, serious-faced, clearly aware that something unusual is happening. He steps into the ring. He stares down this mystery figure. The arena goes dead silent. And then Seth Rollins out of nowhere slides in from the opposite side of the ring. Both men, standing, staring, waiting for this masked attacker to make a move. And instead of fighting, the mystery attacker reaches up slowly and removes the hood. The crowd erupts. Now, for the purposes of this video and respecting ongoing storyline integrity, I want every single one of you to drop your theories in the comments right now. Because the identity of this attacker connects to a history with both Roman and Seth that makes this not just a surprise but a full circle, poetic, professional wrestling masterpiece moment. Here is where the storytelling shifts from exciting to absolutely genius. Rather than an immediate brawl, what followed was a promo exchange for the ages. The mystery attacker spoke first and laid out a case, a grievance, a shared enemy. A common thread that connected all three people standing in that ring at that exact moment. And Roman Reigns, the tribal chief who has operated on his own terms for years now, who has built his entire identity around commanding loyalty rather than offering it. Roman listened. Seth Rollins, the visionary, the man who processes every situation like a chess grandmaster playing 10 moves ahead. Seth didn't just listen. Seth nodded. And then in a moment that sent chills through arenas and living rooms alike, Roman Reigns extended his fist. The Shield fist bump. That iconic gesture that launched 1,000 memories. That three-knuckle salute that once meant believe in the Shield. The mystery attacker looked at the fist, looked at Rollins, looked back at Reigns, and completed the fist bump. The arena? Absolute pandemonium. Seth Rollins added his fist to the stack, and for one thunderous, unbelievable moment a new Shield was born. Not from a developmental locker room, not from a rebellion against authority, but from something rarer and more dangerous in professional wrestling, a shared purpose. This wasn't nostalgia. This wasn't a throwback segment designed to pop a crowd and then evaporate. The way this was booked, the way these three individuals carried themselves, this felt like the beginning of something genuinely threatening to the entire Raw roster. Okay, let's take our analyst hats on for a moment, Suplex Rumble Nation, because this is where I want to give credit to what is legitimately brilliant professional wrestling storytelling. The original Shield worked because it was unpredictable, unified, and operating outside the established hierarchy. It disrupted the existing power structure. That is what made it dangerous. That is what made it must-see television every single week. This new formation? It works for entirely different reasons, and those reasons are actually more compelling. Roman Reigns is no longer a hungry, up-and-coming powerhouse. He is the established authority. He is the power structure. For him to willingly fold himself into a group dynamic even as the undisputed leader of that group signals that whatever threat or opportunity has been placed in front of him is significant enough to override his instinct to stand alone. That tells us volumes about the stakes. Seth Rollins adds the wild card electricity. Seth in a unit doesn't mean Seth becomes predictable, it means the unit becomes gloriously unpredictable. You never quite know which version of Seth you're going to get, and in a trio, that chaos is weaponized. And the mystery attacker? The unknown quantity? That is your story engine. That is the character with the most to prove, the most history to unpack, and the most potential to either cement this alliance or blow it apart from the inside. 3 characters. 3 distinct motivations. 1 shared objective. That is wrestling faction architecture at its absolute finest. Let's talk about what this means for the rest of the Raw roster, because I guarantee you nobody in that locker room slept well after this episode aired. Think about every current faction, every singles champion, every main event player on Monday Night Raw right now. Every single one of them woke up the next morning and had to recalculate, had to reassess. Because you cannot book a program against Roman Reigns alone, Seth Rollins alone, and a dangerous mystery commodity alone simultaneously. As a combined unit, the booking challenges are enormous, and that is exciting for us as fans. Tag team division? Disrupted. Because any combination of these 3 is a dominant tag team before the conversation even starts. Singles title picture? Complicated. Because with 3 main event caliber individuals under one banner, championship contendership conversations become a fascinating internal and external negotiation. Potential opponents? Let your mind run wild. Any babyface on the roster with momentum becomes a potential foil. Any rival faction becomes a collision course. The program possibilities are genuinely staggering. Drop in the comments who do you want to see step up and challenge this new Shield first? I want to read every single response because I have a feeling Suplex Rumble Nation is going to have some spicy takes. Alright, prediction time. This is my favorite part, and I want you to keep score at home and come back to this video in 3 months to see how many of these land. Prediction 1: this new Shield will hold together for a minimum of 2 major premium live event cycles before cracks begin to show, and those cracks will come from within, sparked by a title opportunity that forces one member to choose between individual glory and collective loyalty. Prediction 2: the mystery attacker's full backstory will be revealed across multiple Raw episodes in a slow burn that makes the eventual full reveal even more satisfying than the initial unmasking. Good storytelling doesn't give you everything at once. Prediction 3: Seth Rollins will be the first member to be tested because Seth is always the most emotionally complex piece in any faction puzzle, and the writers know that. His loyalty arc will be the most compelling thread to follow. Prediction 4: this new faction will eventually be responsible for the crowning of at least one new champion, and it won't be who you expect. And my bold, spicy, put it on record prediction? Before this storyline concludes, we will get at least one moment that is visually and emotionally comparable to the most iconic Shield imagery in WWE history. A moment built for highlight reels. A moment built for this exact kind of video right here. You heard it on Suplex Rumble first. Wrestling, at its absolute best, makes you feel something. It makes you gasp. It makes you rewind. It makes you call your friends and family members who also watch just to scream incoherently at each other for 5 minutes. And what happened on Raw this week? That was wrestling at its absolute best. The mystery attacker. The new Shield. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins standing unified under one banner. This is the kind of storytelling that reminds every single one of us why we fell in love with professional wrestling in the first place.